Hare Krishna. Welcome to the session on Bhagavad Gita. This is for the recording. We are discussing chapter 3, Karma Yoga. So in the Gita Mahatmya, this beautiful shloka, Gita Shastram idam punyam ya pate prayata puman Vishnu padam avapnoti bhaya shoka vivarjitaha. So one will get rid of bhaya and shoka, fear and lamentation. In first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what was Arjuna's situation? He had these two, bhaya and shoka. When Krishna placed the chariot in the middle of both armies, then as soon as Arjuna saw all the cousins, relatives, grandfather Bhishma, teacher Dronacharya, then he had bhaya. And what did he say? Out of fear, what did he say? Yeah, but what are the symptoms? How did he exhibit that bhaya? There are some shlokas in first chapter.
He said that my Gandhi is slipping from my hand.
Sharire me Roma harshascha jayate Gandivam samsate hastat Pachaiva paridahyate. Kinno rajyena govinda Kimbogai jivitenava Eshamarte kankshitam no Rajyam boga Sukanicha. And so on. So he says, Vepatuscha sharire me. My whole skin is, my whole body is trembling. My whole body is trembling. Vepatuscha sharire me Roma harshascha jayate. The hairs on my body are standing on end out of fear. Gandivam samsate hastat. My Gandiva is slipping from my hands. Tvakchaiva paridahyate. My skin is burning. Tvakchaiva paridahyate. Sidanti mama gatrani. In another shloka he says, Sidanti mama gatrani. My mouth is drying up. Sidanti mama gatrani. So these are the symptoms of fear. So Arjuna exhibited that fear, and when fear comes, then immediately one will start crying. Just like children. Why will they cry? When they are going through some fear, some insecurity, some fear, then they will cry. So Arjuna had these two in the same order, bhaya and shoka. So what does the shloka say in Gita Mahatmya? Vishnu padam avapnoti bhaya shoka vivarjitaha. So we will get rid of this bhaya and shoka. So once you are in Vishnu padam avapnoti, once you obtain that, then bhaya shoka automatically will be removed. See, once you are here sitting in front of the Lord, why will we have bhaya and shoka? Will anybody think, oh, will I have my job tomorrow or not? You may or may not have job, that's a different thing. But you will not have the fear. And when there is no fear, there is no lamentation. Right? So one of my friends, close friend, he was working at Oracle. After 20 years, last week he got an email saying that we are sorry to inform you that your position has been replaced by AI. That was the email they received. So it has been replaced by AI. We all keep hearing that, but now somebody is putting in the email also. In the layoff termination email, they're writing this. Companies started writing this. So probably that email must have been written by AI only. So after a few months, it will say, I'm sorry to inform you that your position has been replaced by me. Instead of AI will say me. Your position has been replaced by me. So, but when we read Bhagavad Gita, you will not have this fear and lamentation. Okay, let's come to third chapter. Third chapter. First shloka, did we discuss last week? We discussed, right? Yeah. So this first chapter starts with Arjuna's confusion. He was already confused. First chapter he was confused. Second chapter, more confusion. Third chapter, beginning of third chapter, still more confusion. So what is Arjuna saying here? Oh Krishna, in second chapter, when I was attending your class, in second chapter class on Zoom call or in-person class, you said, be situated in Buddhi Yoga. Then why do you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? If you want me to just study the books, come to the class, read Bhagavad Gita, and then just sleep happily, then why do you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? Why do you want me to fight? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani gorema niyojayasi keshava. Gora karma. Gora karma means this ghastly warfare. Why do you want me to kill the people? When you asked in Bhagavad in second chapter, that be situated in knowledge. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrita duskrute tasmad yogaya yujasva naiva papam avapnuti. So just cultivate knowledge, and you will be free from all kinds of sins. But now you are asking me to fight and incur sins. So these two look like equivocal instructions to me. What is equivocal instruction? Equivocal means if you look at the instruction from one side, it has one meaning. The same instruction, if you look from the other side, it has a different meaning. Equivocal. So that's why Arjuna is confused and he's saying, why do you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? Now let's see what happens in second shloka. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohaya shiva me. Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyoham apnuyam.
Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyoham apnuyam.
Vyamishrena by equivocal. Iva, certainly. Vakyena, words. Buddhim, intelligence. Mohayasi, you are bewildering. Iva, certainly. Me, my. Tat, therefore. Ekam, only one. Vada, please tell. Nischitya, ascertaining. Ena, by which. Shreya, real benefit. Aham, I. Apnuyam, may have. Madhusudan, why don't you read?
A translation. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Purport. In the previous chapter, as a prelude to Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained, such as Samkhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligence, work without fruitive desire, and the position of the neophyte. This was all presented unsystematically. A more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna, therefore, wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters so that any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness either by inertia or by active service. In other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita.
So now Arjuna is asking Krishna to tell for certainly what is better for him. Oh Krishna, just tell me one thing. Don't tell too many things. At one time you are saying just read, other time you are saying do work. Instead of giving multiple choice questions, just give one answer. So Vamishreneva Vakyena Buddhim Mohayashivame. Because I am already confused, I am already bewildered. Now your equivocal instruction is confusing me even more. Please clear my confusion. So was Arjuna really confused like this? No. But when we read Bhagavad Gita, we are confused. When we read multiple things, Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, when you read all these things, you will be confused what to follow, what not to follow. Whenever you read any chapter, you feel like, oh, this is what I have to practice. Yes, you have to practice everything, but the culmination of all the yogas, the culmination of all the instructions of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is just surrender to Krishna and do whatever Krishna or Guru instructs. But what happens whenever we hear anything from gurus, whenever we read anything in the Shastra, our mind only wants to accept that portion which we like. There will be multiple things that we read, right? But our mind only accepts that part which we like. And we reject the other thing. Sankalpa, Vikalpa. This is the nature of the mind. I like this, I don't like it. So, and Arjuna was exactly doing that. When you don't want to do certain thing, the mind has the power to come up with excuses to justify your reasoning. First, you don't want to do something, and then you will come up with some reasoning. You will come up with some argument. That argument may be correct or not. Your decision of doing or not doing certain thing may be correct or not. But once you make a statement, once you come up with your initial argument, the mind has the power to come up with more excuses to justify that one initial argument. And that is what exactly going on in case of Arjuna. So he decided not to fight in the first chapter only. But since then, he has been expressing his concern. And this goes on till 18th chapter, till the end of Bhagavad Gita. Even the beginning of 18th chapter, you will hear a question exactly like this. So it is to teach us that we, the unintelligent people, the conditioned souls in the material world, we are confused. We are confused in every walk of our life. We are confused in every walk of our life. So when we understand, or when Krishna teaches the same point from multiple perspectives, when Krishna teaches the same point in different angles, then we will understand it much better. Okay. So second chapter was like a summary of entire Bhagavad Gita. Krishna spoke entire Bhagavad Gita in 1.5 hours. And let's say second chapter was spoken in 10-15 minutes. So it is like answering to Arjuna what to do or what not to do in 10-15 minutes. So someone may not be confused, someone may not be convinced so easily. In 10-15 minutes, you hear something, you will not be confused, you will not be convinced. So Arjuna's situation was the same. That's why he is asking for further clarifications. Okay. 3.3. Now Krishna starts clarifying, and there are many beautiful shlokas in this chapter. Chapter 3 is very beautiful. Even though Karma Yoga, one may think that we are all practicing Bhakti Yoga, right? Why do we really need to study and understand Karma Yoga? Yes, we need to, because we are still working, we are still living in the material world. So as long as we have some occupational duty to perform, we need to understand Karma Yoga so that we know how to connect our work to Krishna. We know how to perform our work as a service to Krishna. Whatever we do in our life, we have to do it as an offering, as a service to God. So when we read Karma Yoga, next chapter is Jnana Yoga, transcendental knowledge. Fifth chapter is the fusion of chapter 3 and chapter 4, Karma and Jnana. So when we read all this, we will know how to live in this material world actually. How to work, how to offer the results of our work to God. All of these things we will know. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ
लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानं कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानं कर्मयोगेन योगिना
श्रीभगवानुवाच. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Loke, in the world, Asmin, this, Dvivida, two kinds of, Nishtha, faith, Pura, formerly, Prokta, were said, Maya, by me, Anaga, O sinless one, Jnana Yogena, by the linking process of knowledge, Sankhyanam, of the empiric philosophers, Karma Yogena, by the linking process of devotion, Yoginam, of the devotees. Okay. Want to read? Okay. Prepare much pen. Prasanna. Okay.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. Purport. In the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord explained two kinds of procedures, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. In this verse, the Lord explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study of the nature of the spirit and matter, is a subject matter for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness, as it is explained in the 61st verse of the second chapter. The Lord has explained also in the 39th verse that by working by the principles of Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bonds of action, and furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. The same principle is more clearly explained in the 61st verse, that this Buddhi Yoga is to depend entirely on the Supreme, or more specifically on Krishna, and in this way, all the senses can be brought under control very easily. Therefore, both the yogas are interdependent as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fantasism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. The ultimate goal is Krishna, because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end through Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to superself. The indirect process is philosophical speculation, by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness, and other process is directly connecting everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Of these two, the path of Krishna consciousness is better because it doesn't depend on purifying the senses by a philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process, and by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime.
So, Krishna is saying here, Lokesmin Vivida Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. So, Krishna has explained two paths, two different paths in chapter 2. What are those two different paths? Jnana and Karma. One class of people who are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation, and others by, Prabhupada uses the word devotional service, but read it as karma, action, okay, by performing action. So, jnana and karma, knowledge and action, these are the two paths. Krishna is saying, Lokesmin vivida nishta pura prokta mayanaga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. So these are the two paths, karma yoga and jnana yoga, two paths. Krishna already explained in second chapter. And Krishna is saying that the goal of these two paths is the same. Whether you want to follow jnana yoga or karma yoga, the goal is same. You will reach the same destination. You will reach the same destination. Vishnu padam avapnoti. So still Arjuna did not understand. If both are leading to the same path, then why should I even do action? I will do Jnana Yoga. Right? So then Krishna will explain further. What are the difficulties in just practicing Jnana Yoga, and what is the danger of practicing only Karma Yoga? Both are problematic. If you are doing only Karma Yoga, it's a problem. If you are doing only Jnana Yoga, it's a problem. Only knowledge or only action is a problem. When you are doing any action, you need to know why you are doing what you are doing. Otherwise, you will not be convinced to do that action. You will not be motivated to continue to do that action. You will not be inspired. Because to do anything, we need some inspiration, some motivation. Without that, we will not be doing anything. Because the first question that we ask before we start anything is, what is the benefit for me? What is there in it for me? Falashruti, right? If you ask anybody to recite Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, they'll ask about Falashruti. What is the benefit of reciting Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra? Then when we explain that, then they'll be motivated. So we need some motivation. Without the motivation, we doesn't want to do anything. So we need to know why we are doing what we are doing. If we don't know that, then it becomes a ritual. Anything, for example, many times when I sit here and give any class, Vishnu Sahasranama class in the Saturday morning, or many times like this, I see many people doing pradakshina. So we need to know why we are doing pradakshina. We need to know what is the purpose of doing pradakshina, and how many times should we do. That also depends on time, place, and circumstances. If there is some program going on, and if somebody wants to do 108 pradakshinas, then that's not good. First of all, you don't need to do 108 pradakshinas. If you want to get satisfaction, just do 3 rounds and peacefully sit and focus on the Saundaryam of the Lord. Because that is what you will remember when you go home. What will you remember? You will not remember how you walked. Did you do a catwalk, or what kind of walk did you do? That you will not remember. But what you will remember is when you sit here and focus on the lotus feet of the Lord, focus on the Charanaravinda, Mukharavinda of the Lord, that is what you will remember. Or you open some book and read some stotram, that you will remember. You will remember some names, some mantras, some stotrams, that you will remember when you go home also. So you don't need to actually do more than 3 times. But those 3 times also, if you have to do, if you want to do, why? Why should we do? If you want to know that, come to the class here on Saturday morning, 9:30, Vishnu Sahasranama class. This is an advertisement for that class. So for that, like that, for everything, you need to know why we are doing what we are doing. If you don't know that, then it becomes a ritual. And you will not be motivated to that. Even if you are doing it, it will become mechanical. So I see many people, especially when you come in the morning, right? They do morning walk here. They finish their morning walk here 108 times, or maybe 1,000 times, we don't know. They keep on walking. And I stop people. I explain them. You don't have to do like this. Because in Kali Yuga, the benediction is Nama Sankirtana. Just sit down and chant the names. Take a japamala and chant, just like, Priya was doing when I came, she was sitting there and she was doing japa. Or read Bhagavad Gita, there are so many books there. You read some stories so that you can tell to your children. There are more meaningful ways how you can spend time in the temple, rather than just mechanically, doing a morning walk.
Prabhuji, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Prabhuji, we know that the dharma of this yuga is Nama Sankirtan, and we do that also. But as you are giving the example of circumambulating the Lord, these activities, they seem very simple as compared to chanting.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to focus your mind on chanting or get enthusiastic about it. You
Yes.
might be enthusiastic for first few rounds, but then later on, your focus, your enthusiasm is gone. So how do we understand this, and how do we keep enthusiastic and do the rounds very attentively and nicely? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for asking that question. And she brought up a very valid point, right? Why do people do pradakshina, or why do people prefer that over sitting and chanting? Because that's very easy. Doing pradakshina is very easy. even a child can do that, right? So doing pradakshina is more easier than sitting and trying to focus your mind and doing japa. So the mind always takes the path of least resistance. When you are chanting, there is 100% resistance. But when you are walking, least resistance. No resistance at all. Okay, you'll be motivated. Okay, I'm getting some good health at the same time. I'm getting some sukriti, punya karma. so, so how do we do quality japa? How do we chant attentively? That's a very big topic. But to give you a short answer, the same thing. You need to know why you are doing what you are doing. Same answer. You need to know why you are chanting, first of all. Why do you need to chant? You need to know all the details of the benefits of chanting. Or first of all, why should we even chant? Is there any obligation? Did Krishna ever ask to chant? If at all, where did Krishna ask? Yeah? What are those shlokas in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, where Krishna asked, chant my names, chant
Satatam
Nama
kirtayanto
Sankirtana,
mam.
huh?
Satatam kirtayanto.
Satatam Kirtayanto Ma, like that. But uh, when you ask this question, right, are we even obligated to chant? Are we even required to chant? So remember that chanting is a way of paying our gratitude to Krishna. In the simplest uh, way of understanding it, chanting is a way of expressing gratitude to Krishna. In this chapter, third chapter, 10th shloka, Krishna says, Sahayajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishwadhyam esha vostvishta kamaduk. Krishna said, in the beginning of creation, I have sent forth the generations of men, like Prajapatis, and Prajapatis were entrusted with the responsibility of creating all the men and women. Huh? And Krishna also has supplied the necessities, the earth, water, fire, air, ether, and so on, the food, grains, vegetables, fruits, flowers, everything that we need. And what did Krishna say? Consume all these necessities and be thou happy. You be happy. By consuming all these necessities, you be happy. Now Krishna is giving something to us without asking for it. Now we have such a big obligation to pay off the debt to Krishna. We are indebted forever. Whatever we have received from God, for that we are indebted forever. Now how do we pay off that runa? We should not keep any runa, right? Otherwise it's a bondage. So how do we pay off that runa? Did God ever ask, I have given you vegetables, you give me back vegetables. I have given you fruits, you give me back fruits. Did Krishna ever ask? Of course he said patram pushpam phalam toyam, but he said one fruit. He did not say phalani, right? He said phalam. He did not say phalani. This is gone. చూడండి ఇంకోటి ఉంది చూడండి.
just unmute it. The number 10, right? Check it.
Yeah, I think it's coming. Yeah. Thank you. So Krishna said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Just offer me one fruit, one flower, water, and a leaf. One leaf, he said. Patram. He did not say Patrani, Phalani, Pushpani. He did not say. He did not use plural. He used a singular there. So he has given us innumerable number of, infinite number of fruits. And he continues to give for the rest of this yuga, not only this yuga, whenever we appear in this yuga, in this material world, after Kali Yuga, we'll again appear in Satya Yuga. We'll appear in Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. Every yuga will appear until we go back to spiritual world, until we get Vishnu Padamavapnoti, we will keep appearing here. And Krishna is continuously giving. And Krishna is asking only to offer one fruit. Maybe he's hungry, that's why he's asking. He thought if everybody offers one fruit, I'll be satisfied. But what did he say? Satatam kirtayanto mam. He said, always chant my names. So it's very easy. Can't we do that? For what we have received from God, I mean, to start with, you don't have to do satatam. Satatam means always. To start with, you don't have to do satatam. But at least do for 10 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. Or 7 minutes. On an average, it takes 7 minutes to do one round of japa. Whatever name, whatever mantra you like. If somebody likes Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, do that. 108 times, do that. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You do it 108 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whatever mantra you like. Until you get Diksha initiated, then until that time, whatever mantra you want to chant, you chant. When you get Diksha, then there is a specific mantra that you have to chant every day. But until that time, using the Japamala, you can chant any Japamala, any Japam, any mantra. So I hope that answers your question. In the simplest way, we have an obligation to offer gratitude to Krishna for what we have received from Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Yeah. So when we understand this, right? When you understand this shloka, okay, let me show that shloka here. Then you will remember that. This is a very beautiful shloka. In the entire Bhagavad Gita, you will see if you search online, what is the most important shloka in Bhagavad Gita? You will find different things. Manmana Bhavat Bhakto or Sarvadharman Parityaja, like that. But if you ask me, this is the most important shloka in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Sahayagnya prajasrishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishwadhyam eshavostvishta kamaduk. Krishna is revealing his heart here. He's revealing his heart. In later chapters, from 7 to 12, Krishna will reveal more details about himself. But here, out of nowhere, even though this is not the topic related to this Karma Yoga, Krishna is revealing his heart means it's related to Bhakti. Bhakti, Vatsalyata, that is the concept. And it has no connection with Karma. Because Bhakti is an advanced topic. But here Krishna, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita alone, he's putting his heart. He's opening up his heart. Okay, so let's recite this shloka. First, let's read the meaning. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth the generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them, saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna." Yajna means nothing but action. Action and performing your duty, performing your prescribed duty or action. Because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So this is the first, in the very beginning only Krishna is revealing beautiful thing. Let's recite together. Sahayajna praja srishtva puro vacha prajapatihi.
Sahayagna praja sruष्ट्वा purovacha prajapatihi.
Anena prasavishyadvam eshavostvishta kamaduk.
Aneka prasavitvam esha.
Sahayajna praja srishtva puro vacha prajapatihi.
Sahayagna praja sruष्ट्वा purovacha
Anena
prajapatihi.
prasavishyadvam eshavostvishta kamaduk.
Anena prasavitvam esha
Sahayajna
vosvashtakamadik.
praja srishtva puro vacha prajapatihi.
Sahayagna praja sruष्ट्वा purovacha
Anena
prajapatihi.
prasavishyadvam eshavostvishta kamaduk.
Anena prasavitvam esha vosvada isha kamaduk.
Yeah. Okay. So as a matter of offering gratitude to Krishna, we have to do what Krishna is asking us to do. Simple. He's asking us very simple thing. In the Shastra, it is explained that there is a remedy for every action. There is a remedy for every sinful action. Even if you commit a very abominable action, like killing a child, killing a brahmana, killing a cow, go vada, shishu vada, brahmana vada. Even for all these things, there is a remedy to get rid of those sinful activities. But there is only one thing for which there is no remedy. There is no parihara. Do you want to know what is that? Yes or no? Looks like no. I don't hear anything from you. Okay. Come on, Saturday morning for Vishnu Sahasranama class. No. I'll tell now. Gratitude. If you are not paying gratitude, then there is no remedy for that. Kritagnata. If you have, there is no remedy for kritagnata. There is no parihara for kritagnata. We need to have kritagnyata. Kritagnya means, kritam means the work done. Jñā means to know. Kritagnya, to know what has been done to you by somebody. And to remember that. Know and remember a favor that was done by somebody to you. If you receive some favor from somebody, you have to know that. You have to know and you have to remember that. And if you are not remembering that, if you are not trying to pay back, that is called kritagnata. The opposite of kritagnyata is kritagnata. And there is no parihara for that. You read all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, Puranas, Itihasas, read entire Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana. There is no parihara for that. The only way is you have to pay back. You have to pay back what you have received. And Krishna is telling us very simple thing, how to pay that back. By chanting. Satatam kirtayanto ma. Chanting is one, but there are 9 devotional processes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. You can pay off the debt to Krishna by performing any of these things. Chanting comes in Kirtanam. But if you are interested in reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita, studying Bhagavad Gita, Shravanam. That is Shravanam. You can do that also. In fact, Krishna in 18th chapter, I'll show that shloka, it's very beautiful. Krishna tells that the act of studying Bhagavad Gita is non-different than the pujari doing arati there. Now, when we come to the temple, everybody will stand here. When there is a festival, for example, Ramanavami Day, there were 1,000 people at the same time in this hall. Now, all of us, we look up to the pujari and we think that the pujari is so blessed. He is performing the direct seva to the Lord, right? Where we consider that arati is the main important aspect of worship, right? And sometimes we may feel that, oh, I don't have that opportunity to go so close to the God and perform the puja, perform arati like that. So if you are feeling that like that, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, something very beautiful. What is that shloka? Now look at this. This is another one. 47. Where did we hear this? Third chapter. we just read. I told you, right? Krishna repeats two shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava madbhakta, 9th and 18th. And this one, Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha, we just read in third chapter. And here also Krishna repeats that same shloka. That's why if you observed, when we were reciting that chapter, third chapter, I recited this shloka 2 or 3 times. 2 times. Yeah. See, look at this. This is the verse. This is the verse, 18th chapter, 70th shloka, in which Krishna says, those who study Bhagavad Gita, they worship him just like how a pujari is doing arati. Okay? Adyeshyate cha ya imam dharmyam samvadam avayo jnana yajnena tenaham ishtasyam iti me matihi. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. Sacred conversation of ours means Krishna and Arjuna. Whoever studies this Bhagavad Gita, the sacred conversation of Arjuna and Krishna, what are they doing? They are worshipping Krishna with the intelligence. To study, it requires intelligence. So the pujari who is doing arati, he uses different paraphernalia. He uses dhupa, deepa, naivedya, argyam, all those things, right? Patram, pushpam, all those things. So he is worshipping Krishna with patram, pushpam, those things. And here Krishna is saying that those who study Bhagavad Gita, they are worshipping me with intelligence. It is exactly the same. There is no difference. Without being a Brahmana, you are given the benediction of worshipping Krishna, just like how a pujari does. Simply by studying Bhagavad Gita. Shravanam, Patanam, Supatanam, Mananam, Nidhi Dhyanam. These are the different steps in studying. Shravanam, first you hear. Patanam, you study. Supatanam, that means you analyze, you contemplate. Nidhi Dhyanam is you analyze and you contemplate. Supatanam means you repeatedly read. Patanam, read. Supatanam, you read again and again until you understand it. Nidhi Dhyanam, you recollect, you remember what you have read, analyze, contemplate. So these are the different things. When you are doing this, you are actually worshipping Krishna. You are actually performing Arati. In the beginning of the chapter, beginning of the class, we recited the entire chapter. That is nothing but each one of you standing there and doing Arati. There's no difference. So how merciful Krishna is. What a blessing he has given to us. Even though we are not qualified. Even though we are not qualified to stand there and do Arati, but Krishna is giving that blessing. Ishtasyaham iti me matihi. Ishta means worshipping. You might have heard this word, right? Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata, right? Ishta Devata means that Devata or that God that you worship in the family. In the families we have Ishta Devata, Kula Devata, right? So what is Ishta Devata? Some people understand it as Ishta Dev. In Telugu, the word Ishta means what I like. No, it's not that. It's not that word. Ishta Devata means that Devata or that God that we worship. Look at the meaning of Ishta here. Worshipped. Ishta means worshipped. Yeah, Ishta Devata. Okay. Bhagavad Gita is like eating rasagulla or gulab jamun. When you are eating rasagulla or gulab jamun, let's say you are eating with hand, not with the spoon. That's how you are supposed to eat, by the way. Any food you are supposed to eat with hand only, not with spoon. Even gulab jamun or rasagulla or whatever, you're supposed to eat with hand only. So what happens when you are eating gulab jamun with hand? When you put your hand with the gulab jamun in your mouth, it's sweet. And as you are putting that gulab jamun in your mouth, some syrup drips. And what is the nature of that syrup that has fallen, that has dripped? That is also sweet. And if you are sitting next to your friend, and by mistake, your friend puts your hand in his mouth, he will feel the same sweetness. Or by mistake, that syrup or gulab jamun has fallen on somewhere else, and some animal comes and licks that. That is also sweet. So everything, whatever you do with gulab jamun, everybody will experience that sweetness in multiple ways, in different directions, different perspectives. So Bhagavad Gita is like that. As you start peeling the layers, everything is a jewel. Everything is a jewel. It's so beautiful. Only when you scrutinizingly study, understand, contemplate. So this is what you do, okay? Simple homework. I never give any homework. Even if I give, nobody does that homework. But I'll give simple homework today, okay? Until we meet next week, you contemplate on that shloka, 3.10. Third chapter, 10th shloka. Sahayajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapati anena prasavishyadhyam esha vostvishta kamaduk. You feel the emotions in your heart. You feel, you get a sense of what you have received from Krishna without even asking for anything. And you try to understand how merciful, you try to understand the Putra Vatsalyam or Matru Vatsalyam of Krishna. You try to understand the love of Krishna. This is the simple homework. Just sit down every day for 5 minutes relaxingly, sit in your sofa, and then just close your eyes and focus on this shloka. Meditate on this shloka. Krishna will reveal beautiful things to you. So we have to study Bhagavad Gita like that. We have to take it to our heart. We have to take it to our heart. Krishna has made it very easy. Sarvopanishado gavo dogda gopala nandanaha partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdam gitamritam mahat. Krishna knows that we don't have the ability, we don't have time to read all the Vedas. So he has milked the Vedas and given us in the condensed form, Bhagavad Gita. He made it so easy for us to understand the essence of the Vedas. Okay? So, lokesmin vividhanishta puro prokta mayonaga Jnana yogena sankyana karma yogena yogina. Okay? So we'll do one last shloka and then we'll stop for today. Na karmana manarambhan naishkarmyam purushoshnute. Na cha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. Now, not karmanam of prescribed duties, anarambhat by non-performance, naishkarmyam, freedom from reaction, purushaha, a man or a woman, ashnute, achieves, nor, cha, also, sanyasanat, by renunciation, eva, simply, siddhim, success, samadhi gacchati, attains. Translation and purport. Adri?
Translation. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Purport. The renounced order of life can be accepted when one has been purified by the discharge of the prescribed form of duties which are laid down just to purify the hearts of materialistic men. Without purification, one cannot attain success by abruptly adopting the fourth order of life, that is sannyasa. According to the empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyasa or retiring from fruitive activities, one at once becomes as good as Narayana. But Lord Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of heart, sannyasa is simply a disturbance to the social order. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance in the cause is accepted by the Lord, which is explained in Buddhi Yoga. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulties.
Yeah. Okay, so here Krishna is describing the difference between artificial renunciation and working without fruitive results. Na karmana manarambhan naishkarmyam purushoshnute nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhi gacchati. Because both the paths will lead to the same destination. As Krishna mentioned in the previous shloka, Jnana and Karma, both parts will lead to the same destination if you do it combinedly. Okay? And here what is Krishna saying? Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. So the first one, they both look the same here, right? But the first part of the paragraph is artificial renunciation. You abstain from doing work. Prematurely, you renounce things. In the society generally, retirement is at the age of 60. But if you think that you are practicing bhakti yoga and you think that if I work, I will be entangled in the material world, I will be subject to the karmic reactions, so I will stop doing work. Before somebody lays me off, I will only take a voluntary retirement and I will not do any work. That is what abstaining from work, prematurely retiring from work, prematurely renouncing the work. That is dangerous. That is artificial renunciation. Or second part is, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Let's say you wait until you reach mature age, 60 or 70 years, and then you renounce. That is good. Anyway, that time you have to renounce the work. But that alone, Krishna is saying, that alone will not give you liberation. That alone will not give you liberation. Simply by renouncing the work will not give you liberation. Why? Because you need to know why you are renouncing. That means you need to have knowledge. You need to have knowledge, Jnana. So you need to practice Jnana Yoga also. Renunciation comes in the category of Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga. But that alone will not give you perfection or liberation. You need to have Jnana also, knowledge. So both Karma and Jnana, both are needed. So while somebody is renouncing, when they come to the mature age in the life, they also need to have some education, some spiritual education. Jnana means spiritual education. Why we are doing what we are doing. We need to know that part. Otherwise, it will be mechanical. Otherwise, what are we even renouncing actually? Right? Does anything belong to us? Do we own anything? Are we the proprietor of anything? When we are not the proprietor, when we don't own anything, then where is the question of renouncing the things? Renunciation means what? You have something and you are giving it away. You are giving it up. But when you don't have, first of all, you don't have anything, then where is the question of giving it away? So actually, we are not renouncing anything. We cannot renounce anything because we don't own anything. We are not the proprietor of anything. So this is the Jnana. Then there will be a question. Okay, if I am not the owner, if I am not the proprietor, I have this phone. If I am not the owner, then who is the owner? That means there is somebody else. So who is that? Then the inquiry into the absolute starts. Then you read spiritual knowledge, you cultivate spiritual knowledge, Jnana. Then you will be motivated to renounce things. So that is what Krishna is saying. Nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. So you need to have Vairagya and Jnana. Jnana, Vairagya, these two are children of Bhakti Devi. If we consider Bhakti Devi as the mother, she has two children, Jnana and Vairagya. If any of these two children are weak, Bhakti Devi will become weak. Bhakti Devi took birth in Dravida Desha, Tamil Nadu region, Dravida Desha. That is where first Bhakti took birth. And as Bhakti Devi traveled to Karnataka region, in the hands of Madhvacharya and other acharyas, Bhakti Devi gained full potency. Bhakti Devi was born in Dravida Desha in Tamil Nadu region. The Alvars and all, they started propagating Bhakti. And then as it traveled to Karnataka in the hands of Madhvacharya and other acharyas, it gained full potency. And then after some time, what happened? After many years, as Bhakti Devi reached Gujarat, Maharashtra, these regions. Is anyone here from Gujarat or Maharashtra? Okay, yeah. Don't feel offended what I'm going to say now. You can close your ears also. So as Bhakti Devi reached Gujarat, Maharashtra regions, Bhakti Devi became very weak. And Narada Muni one day, he saw Bhakti Devi who is sitting very weak. He asked, "Oh Bhakti Devi, why are you so weak?" And Bhakti Devi said, "My two children are weak. Jnana and Vairagya, they are weak. That's why I'm weak." So the Jnana part, as it traveled from Dravid Desham to Karnataka and then as it reached Gujarat and Maharashtra, because Gujarat people are so rich, they're business people, they have a lot of wealth, they are so rich. Same thing, Maharashtra also. So when you are rich, when you are wealthy, when you are sound, you may not want to know about God. You think you are God. So then the knowledge has been neglected. When there is no knowledge, there is no vairagya also, right? So the renunciation is also not there. Then both Jnana, Vairagya became weak, Bhakti Devi became weak. And then as Bhakti Devi started traveling upwards, when Bhakti Devi reached Vrindavan, then again Bhakti Devi attained full potency. It became rejuvenated. Bhakti Devi, she became rejuvenated. She became rejuvenated, and then when she started traveling down, again the same Gujarat and Maharashtra, they have picked up that bhakti more than anyone else. Gujarat and Maharashtra, now they have picked up bhakti more than anyone else. Now you should be happy. So, and then Bhakti Devi started traveling down and everybody picked up. So, Jnana and Vairagya. So if at all we want to remember one thing from this class today, two things. The 3.10 shloka, what Krishna has done to us and what obligation do we have to pay back to Krishna. That you meditate throughout the week. Every day, whenever you get some time, you sit and you meditate on that. And the second thing to take away is the Jnana, Vairagya are the two children of Bhakti. So we need to nourish both the Jnana and Vairagya. Okay? So Vairagya is nothing but Karma Yoga, basically. Okay? Nishkama Karma Yoga. Vairagya means not wearing saffron clothes. Jnana is reading Bhagavad Gita and Vairagya is not wearing saffron clothes. Don't go to Jones and look for a saffron cloth fabric there. So by practicing Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, and by cultivating knowledge, slowly you will develop renunciation. Okay, these are the two children of Bhakti. Any questions, comments, reflections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for a very nice class, and your emphasis and your attraction towards 3.10. Like I never thought about it like that before, but
Yeah.
I can see your point now, and I will do the exercise. Prabhuji, only one request is
And
that
tell me next week, what are your realizations? You meditate
yes,
throughout this week, and then you tell me what are your realizations. You don't need to understand the word for word meaning, the Sanskrit, don't worry about that. Just meditate on the fact that Krishna has given us so much. What can I do for Krishna? This is what you need to meditate upon. And if you have time, you open that shloka, you read everything of that shloka. Or you go to YouTube, search for that shloka and listen to some lectures. That will help your meditation. Yes, go ahead.
Prabhuji, my request is that whenever we read about Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, it's like very difficult to understand. And you explained it very nicely, but in the next class, can we take some more time to just specify focus on one thing and just explain that, what actually Krishna tries to say. Because at some point, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that there is no difference between Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. And then he also takes the example of, I think, Kapila Muni, that Kapila Muni who was an imposter, and then that Kapila Muni who actually gave the Sankhya Yoga. So I think some purpose. So the mind gets very confused at what it is actually. So if you can put some more explanation, that will be helpful. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that next week. Anyone else? Any feelings? Any emotions? All good? Okay. Now this boy is waiting. For last 1 hour he has been waiting. Come.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.